In this video, we'll be taking a look at 2 college football games happening on October 14, 2022, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 4 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 2 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Navy versus SMU. Southern Methodist has not been great in their last 3 games. The Mustangs have lost 3 in a row as they host the Naval Academy on Friday, October 14th. The Midshipmen destroyed Tulsa in their latest game as the run game was dominant. SMU looks to snap a 3-game losing streak and snag their first conference win of the season, while Navy tries to keep momentum on their side. The Navy Midshipmen have lost 4 of their last 7 road games. Ty Lavatai is completing 52% of his passes for 515 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Vincent Terrell Jr. and Jaden Umbarger have combined for 256 receiving yards and 1 touchdown, while Mark Walker has 6 receptions. The Navy Midshipmen ground game is averaging 231.8 yards per contest, and Mackwell Haywood leads the way with 181 yards on 35 carries. Defensively, Navy is allowing 21 points and 349 yards per game. John Marshall leads the Navy Midshipmen with 34 tackles. Jacob Busick has 4 sacks, and Tyler Fletcher has 1 interception. The SMU Mustangs have won 6 of their last 8 home games. Tanner Mordecai is completing 59.2% of his passes for 1,680 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. Rashee Rice and Jake Bailey have combined for 892 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns, while Moochie Dixon has 13 receptions. The SMU Mustangs ground game is averaging 145.2 yards per contest, and Velton Gardner leads the way with 230 yards and 1 touchdown. Defensively, SMU is allowing 28.6 points and 420.2 yards per game. Jimmy Phillips Jr. leads the SMU Mustangs with 34 tackles. Elijah Chapman has 3 sacks, and Nick Roberts has 1 interception. The Midshipmen are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 road games and 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 games overall. The Mustangs are 9-4 against the spread in their last 13 home games and 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 games overall. The under is 9-4 in Midshipmen last 13 games overall. The under is 4-1 in Mustangs last 5 games overall. The Midshipmen are 7-2 against the spread in their last 9 meetings. The favorite is 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 meetings. The Navy Midshipmen take on the SMU Mustangs in Dallas. Both teams are 2-3 to start the season, but SMU has played a tougher schedule. They have losses to 3 FBS teams compared to Navy, who lost to an FCS team to open the season. Both teams are looking to notch another conference win and try and get to the conference championship. Navy is a decent defensive team that has not played much offense, except for last week. Last week they put up 57 points against Tulsa, which is the most points Tulsa has allowed all season. The Midshipmen ran the ball for 455 yards and looked like a dominant force. They will be playing an SMU team that allows 416 yards per game. They are catching enough points in this game that if they establish the run early, they cover this game and possibly win. Teams are either prepared for Navy's triple option offense, or they are not, and Navy is 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 games. This line also opened at 20.5 and is down to 12.5 at the time of the making of this video, which means people are betting heavily on Navy. Navy has bounced back from a very poor start to the season, has played much better in their last 3 games. SMU has one of the best passing attacks in the country, but their defense is giving up over 400 yards per game. SMU is going to struggle to stop the Navy rushing attack. Take the Midshipmen and their newfound offense to cover against a spotty SMU defense. So the Navy Midshipmen to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Navy loves to shorten the game with 9 to 10 play drives that take about 6 to 7 minutes. That's a perfect drive for Navy because they are keeping the opponent off the field. Despite their inept defense, SMU has gone under in 4 of their last 5 games. While Navy's offense erupted against Tulsa for 53 points, that was a fluke. Navy is going to take control of this game on the road with their rushing attack. Navy is scoring an average of 21 points per game, and their defense is giving up an average of 21 points per game. On Friday night, it is going going to be similar to that stat line, as the under is 5-1 in Midshipmen's last 6 road games. For SMU, the under 4-1 in Mustangs' last 5 games overall. Although the Midshipmen have put up good defensive numbers, the numbers are due to their offense. Navy runs the ball almost twice as much as they pass the ball. They eat up the clock and control the line of scrimmage more than any other team. The Midshipmen have hit the under in 9 of their last 13 games. On the other side, SMU has a very good offense with the ability to throw deep balls and score quickly, but they are going to have fewer possessions due to the way Navy plays. SMU has also been getting inflated totals this year and has hit the under in 4 of their last 5 games. This is the highest total Navy has seen this season by over 10 points. The clock is going to be ticking all evening as possessions come at a premium, which means scoring is going to be low too. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. UTSA versus Florida International. The UTSA Roadrunners have been off to a solid start this season, heading into Ricardo Silva Stadium on Friday night as they are 4-2 and are riding a 3-game winning streak as they are coming off of a 31-28 home victory against the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers on Saturday. Senior quarterback Frank Harris had a solid game as he finished going 2-4 of 3-5 for 273 yards with a touchdown pass, while also running the ball 10 times for 61 yards with a rushing touchdown as well. The Florida International Panthers have been struggling a bit both overall and in Conference USA action, as they are currently 2-3 and lost on Saturday at home against the UConn Huskies 33-12. Sophomore quarterback Grayson James struggled in the game overall as he was 2-8 of 4-3 for 256 yards with a pair of interceptions, while also adding 8 carries for 20 yards. UTSA comes into this game with a 4-2 record overall, and they are coming off another big victory in their last game. UTSA gave up 14 points in the 4th quarter to Western Kentucky, but they scored 7 points and still held on for the 31-28 victory. Under center for UTSA is Frank Harris, and in the last game, he completed 24 of his 35 passes for 273 yards, 1 touchdown, and 0 interceptions. The defense hasn't been great this season, but the offense has been good, averaging 37 points per game, which is 27th in the league. On the other side of this matchup is the FIU Panthers, who sit with a 2-3 record overall, but they are coming off a terrible loss in their last game. FIU only managed 12 points against UConn, while the defense gave up 33 points, and it was a blowout loss. Under center for FIU is Grayson James, and he completed 28 of his 43 passes for 256 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. The play under center has been an issue all season. FIU is averaging 17 points, while their defense is giving up 38 points per game. UTSA is 10-2 against the spread in their last 12 games on field turf. FIU is 7-19 in their last 26 conference games. The over is 8-0 in UTSA's last 8 road games. The under is 4-0 in FIU's last 4 games in October. The over is 17-8 in UTSA's last 25 games overall. The UTSA Roadrunners are a solid program so far, while the Florida International Panthers are struggling to figure things out, with the major difference being offensively. The UTSA Roadrunners have been one of the best quarterbacks in the nation statistically, as senior Frank Harris has the 14th best QBR and 4th most passing yards heading into this game. Sophomore Grayson James is levels below that with 919 passing yards and a 32.2 QBR. In James' last 3-4 games, he has recorded 3 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. While we talked about how electric the passing game specifically dominates for UTSA, third down conversion percentage is a critical number for being able to extend drives, as the Panthers are 2-1 of 7-4 in those plays, while the Roadrunners are 4-2 of 7-9 in their chances. Just looking at the against the spread numbers this season should give us a big lean, as the Roadrunners are 3-3 against the spread, while the Panthers are 1-4 against the spread. FIU only managed 12 points against UConn, and it's not going to get any easier in this game, even against a bad defense. UTSA is going to score their points, and I just don't think that FIU has the offense to even keep this anywhere close. Frank Harris will have another big game, and UTSA get the job done. So the UTSA Roadrunners to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The UTSA offense is one of the best in the entire CUSA, and they have now eclipsed 40 points in 2 out of their last 3 games. They have the ability to pile on the points considering they run a quick offense, averaging 82 offensive plays per game, landing them 6th in the FBS in plays per game. In addition, the Golden Panthers defense won't have an answer for UTSA quarterback Frank Harris. They allowed a stunning 73 points to WKU. Also, the Panthers offense should contribute to this total. UTSA does not have a strong defense, offense. They rank near the bottom in pass and rush defense and have allowed at least 24 points in all 6 games. The over is 9-1 in the Roadrunners' last 10 games overall. Florida International has really struggled to score against quality opponents, but UTSA tends to give up yards and points to lesser opponents too. The Roadrunners tend to win with their offense, not their defense. UTSA has gone over this point total in nearly every game. The exceptions were a 41-20 loss to Texas and, oddly enough, last week's 31-28 win against high-octane Western Kentucky. But both of those games were really close to our number. It seems most likely that UTSA is going to post 40 to 45 points comfortably, and the fact that Western Kentucky hung 73 on the Panthers earlier in the season makes you think the Roadrunners might pile up some big numbers too. Still, UTSA also tends to allow lots of yards and points to lesser opponents. Texas Southern scored 24 on 464 yards, and Middle Tennessee got 30 on 452 yards. While FIU has been pretty deficient on offense so far this season, playing at home on a Friday night against a beatable defense should allow them to find some scores. If we can get 20 from the Panthers, that should be enough to do the trick. This seems like a game in which both teams are going to score easily enough, and it will be a shootout. The over seems like the play when the Roadrunners are involved, even against an opponent that they should handle easily. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.